Just after 3 a.m., we are making our way to downtown Manhattan to begin briefings on ICE actions to come this morning.
ICE gears up for immigration raids in New York City. Guys, who's surprised? I am not. But let's go ahead and check it out. Let's jump into it immediately, guys. This is a suggestion via Discord.
President Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration moves here to America's biggest city. Good evening from New York. I'm John Dickerson.
I'm Maurice Dubois. The Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, went along as federal agents conducted an overnight roundup in the Bronx, and CBS News went with them.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, says the search for immigrants in the country illegally led to 969 arrests today nationwide.
Major Garrett was in the Bronx.
Just after 3 a.m., we are making our way to downtown Manhattan to begin briefings on ICE actions to come this morning. Inside the ICE field office in Manhattan, the ranks are enlarged by other agencies now ordered by the Trump administration to gear up for immigration sweeps.
There's also secondary address.
The plan, multiple pre-dawn raids targeting undocumented immigrants with criminal records. The charges range from murder to theft to kidnapping.
We are going to take every precaution when we're trying to apprehend these folks.
Today, they are joined by newly confirmed Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
Be safe out there.
The goal, 500 arrests over a week-long operation in New York. In a Bronx parking lot, a final huddle.
Target today is Anderson Pacheco, Venezuelan national. He's wanted out of Colorado on multiple felony warrants.
A suspected gang member with warrants for kidnapping, burglary, and a gun crime, authorities told us.
And guys, to be honest here, like if New York State knows that this person is in the state, and like you know that they're there, you're just completely fine with it. Like, how dare you? Like, you're putting the public safety at risk by even allowing this individual to remain here. Obviously, if this guy's a felon and he's not even an American, okay, then why, bro? This is so frustrating to me whenever I hear these things. Violent criminals specifically, bro. You're putting New Yorkers at risk. I'm a New Yorker. Right. And I can't even imagine that there are individuals like this that are walking around and the government is doing nothing to actually solve the issue or mitigate the problem. This is frustrating, guys.
5:30 a.m., heavily armed agents raid this apartment building and find the suspect and 3 other male associates, all handcuffed and without incident. Also there in the residence, 3 children, their immigration status unknown. And now a check to see if they have a caregiver or if Child Protective Services needs to be brought in. The next stop, a residence less than 2 miles away. After some negotiation, the officers make their way inside, but come up empty. The targets were not home. No arrests, no detentions. Federal law enforcement is working with limited help from New York City police because of the city's laws protecting undocumented immigrants. Some might say, isn't New York a sanctuary city? But you said the mayor's been cooperative?
The mayor's been fantastic. In fact, I talked to him on the phone probably 4 or 5 times last night.
And that's the surprising thing, or maybe not that surprising specifically if you know who he is. Yes, he is the mayor of New York, okay? But he actually used to be someone who was reliable. Yeah, he is actually someone that is at least looking to help.
These individuals are so dangerous that we needed the backup of the NYPD to be there in case things went south.
Today's Bronx operation required around 36 law enforcement, yielding a handful of arrests. Is that a ratio you're comfortable with?
It is, absolutely. I won't doubt what they need for support and backup. Are you aware you're in violation of our laws?
You want cameras at these events, don't you? And some would say you want this spectacle to be filmed.
It's not a spectacle. This is our nation's law enforcement judicial process. The scales of justice are equally applied to everybody. We want transparency on this.
Bro, and listen, and they also want people to see it, specifically ones that are actually here in the country illegally. They want people to see this, okay? Because by seeing this, maybe they may self-deport themselves. I think that's really what the optics of it all looks like, at least. And this is just me looking at these things. You guys keep sending me them. So it just tells me, it screams to me that that's really what they really want, guys. But either way.
President J.D. Vance has suggested deporting 1 million people a year could be possible, roughly quadruple the number under President Biden last fiscal year. Will you have the person power you need to carry out this initiative?
We're working on it.
It seems like you won't.
Well, we will have the personnel because we're going to continue to recruit and ask people to help us.
Major, as you mentioned in the piece, these are pictures the administration wants people to see, and they're not upset about that ratio you mentioned. So many forces for a little haul. Help people understand that.
They want a show of force. They want people to understand that there is a new tempo and range and scope to these immigration actions. Here's what we know about what happened today. It took roughly 90 officers to arrest 20 suspects in about a 4-hour period.
Okay, now hold on here for a second. That actually sounds very expensive. Like that sounds very, very expensive. I get the concept of show of force, but that's kind of like stopping flies with the Mack truck, guys. But either way,
8 of them had no criminality associated with their existence in this country at all, only that they had entered illegally. 12
so that's the criminality. Don't negate that obvious fact.
Associated with their existence in this country at all, only that they had entered illegally. 12 had criminal records. The administration says that's 12 people more inclined than not to commit crimes in the future. They're off the streets, and the country is safer.
Major, 9 days ago with Joe Biden in office, these raids had a whole different kind of feel. How would you compare the two approaches?
The two biggest differences are these, Maurice. We saw ATF, DEA, U.S. Marshals. They would not have been involved under the Biden administration. That allows a force multiplier effect. 2, collateral arrests. What are those? The 8 suspects arrested today who have no criminality associated with them, they would not have been swept up by the Biden administration. They are being swept up by the Trump administration.
So, Major, the number of arrests today matched that to what J.D. Vance said, which was that he basically wanted 1 million of such arrests in a year. That possible?
The numbers really help us understand whether it is, John. In the last 20 years, this country has never deported even 500,000 individuals in a single year. The highest number was 409,000 under President Obama in 2012. The highest Trump number, 2019, 267,000. To reach 1 million would require a vast expansion of federal immigration resources that are not currently available.
Really steep climb there. Major Garrett, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah, so guys, I think I've always known here, and I've always said in multiple videos, and people would argue with me in the comments, but like, guys, Obama was the deporter in chief. That was like his nickname in certain communities, the deporter in chief. He listen, and if you want to do 1 million, okay, go for it. Because I mean, listen, we've had so many people come in that they just wanted to come into the country and do whatever they desired because the people in power were completely fine with their existence in the United States of America. And it was just the craziest thing in the world, guys. Let's not make things less safe. All right, my opinion. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. The fact that you just made it to the end of the video says a whole lot, actually. We have a couple other channels. MrLboyd Music, MrLboyd Movie Reacts, along with MrLboyd Discusses, where I just generally speak about the things that specifically matter to me. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.